Sundance Kid. Anthony, how's it going? Well, now that was interesting. Who else is here? Pappy's here. Yaz is here. Jim Bibby. Jim, how come you're not on the live on the other channel? Just kind of curious. Okay, live, come on. Okay, go live there. And this is good to go. That one's good to go. That one's good to go. And this one just getting ready to get started. Good to go right there and right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let's get to it. All right, hey, look at this. We got 5 people here already. So I'm going to mute everybody. Mute. Why can't it just be mute all? That'd be so much easier. Now, if you guys want to say something, just unmute yourselves and speak up. I'm getting ready to get started. And live. Thawkins, good evening. Larry LeBlanc, good evening. Stan, hey, Bison, what's happening? Alrighty, guys, let's get rolling. Cameras. Everything is up and ready to go. All right. Glasses. Got to have a pair of glasses. Got to have my evening tea. Now, let's get ready to roll. All right, that's good. Wait a minute. I want to double check this. Display. Make sure I get right on the display. Nope, I'm wrong on the display. Okay. All right, let me fix the display for a second. That works. And there you go. And there you go. And there we are. All right, we're all ready to go. David, good morning. And how are you? Mads, what's happening? Tri-tip. Good evening. All right, so looks like we're running. Everything good. Have an issue with Instagram. Always having an issue with Instagram. Good morning, David. Russell Myers, good evening. All right. And here we go. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, taking you guys along for the ride for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Hope you guys are all doing great. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Let's see what we're going. CW, Crazy Bo. What's happening, Crazy Bo? All right. So we're going to start tonight where we left off last night. Basically, that's the stocks we didn't do. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get out of this. We don't want to see that. KB. BKB. What's happening? Keller, good evening. All right. Trade history. Hey, we can take a look at the trade history. Why not? AAP, Mark, Walmart, Cool Beans. Let's get out of there. We don't need to see that. Don't need to see this. Don't need to see that. And there we have it. Trade right there. All right. Let's get out of that. Don't need to see that. Here we are. Alcoa is first on the list. Why the hell not? It's right here, right? Why not? All right. Alcoa. First on the list for today, AMZP. GW, never heard of AMZP. I'm kind of curious. What the heck is it? AMZP. All right. The Amazon monthly, is that the symbol? Okay. Sorry, I don't do Amazon. Amazon does not have dividends. So I don't invest in companies that don't have dividends. It's AMZN, Amazon. All right. So that's why I was wondering, what the heck is AMZP? I have no idea. Urban. Okay. Dora, good evening. Sal, good evening. All right. That being said, let's take a look at Alcoa. I always do one at a time. First thing I'm looking for is the 1-year chart. Where's the high of the year, the low of the year? Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what has it been doing all year? Okay, it went up, went down. It went up, it went down. Now it's going back up again. We're at 28.65 at the moment. Now, if I wanted to do a covered call tomorrow, I would buy it at 28.65. That's the current price. Now, here's a little bit of an issue. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, so listen closely. 5 days in a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's 100% of the week. Okay, Monday's gone. Now we're down to 4 days left. We just lost 20% of our possible profit. Now Tuesday is gone. Now we just lost 40% of our possible profit. So we had a choice. We're going to look at either this week's option, which is only 3 days left. Very challenging to get 1% on a 3-day week. Okay? Or we'll take a look at next week. Now this week has 3 days left. See, 16 May, 3 days. Oh, and before I forget, for those of you just joining, this behind me, this screen right here, this is live on YouTube. So if you cannot see it on your phone or your iPad or whatever device you're using to watch, it is live at this moment on the 10-Minute Trader on YouTube. So it's live right at the moment. So as I was saying, there's only 3 days left. So 16 May, that's this Friday. We have 3 days left. 23 May, that's next Friday. That's 10 days. Gives us more value, but makes us wait longer. All right, well, we're going to take a look at both of them. Which one is going to be the better play? Well, let's find out. CW, ETF that pays it. We'll look it up. I bought some today. All right, CW. I got no problem with that. Give me the ticker symbol. I'll take a look at it, and I'll give you my opinion. All right? AMZP. What the hell is AMZP? Let's take a gander at it. AMZP. Oh. Curve Yield Premium Strategy Amazon ETF. What the hell is that? It's a no is what it is. All right, CW, I don't do monthlies. They just don't pay. Okay? 16 May, that's this week. Okay? 20 June, that's 38 days away. That's a month, and that's over a month away. Then 18 July, 17 October, those monthlies just don't pay. So you're getting 50 cents on that. Now, you have to wait till this Friday, and then next week, all right, the next option available is the 20th of June. Well, if we're at $30 at the moment, okay, if we're at $30 at the moment, $30 for next week, for next month, is going for $0. Look at these ones. These are all going for $0. Why the hell would I buy something like that? No, there's no, all right. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Sorry. They just don't. Okay, what was I before? I was at Alcoa. So let's finish up with Alcoa. Alcoa, here we go. So a year ago, we're at 38.80. The high of the year was in the end of November. Okay? The end of November was the high of the year. The low of the year was a couple of weeks ago. Well, let's take a look at that. Crypto King, good evening again. Nathan James, good evening. The bottom was on the 8th, the 9th, 21.87. There's the bottom right there, 21.87. And from that bottom right there, that's the bottom of the year. If you're going to buy low and sell high, well, this is what you're looking for, the bottom of the year. But we've already started our uptrend. Okay, the bottom's at 21. We're at 28.69 now. So, yeah, you guys missed some of it, but not all of it. Followed alive. Thank you, KB. Thank you. Hi, Rizzo, what's happening? Oh, 14 million. How much profit do you make from your course subscriptions? Oh, I have no idea. That's not where I get my money from. Okay, my money comes from the investing that I do, 1% every single week. So if I have $100,000 in my account, 1% a week is $1,000 a week. Okay, I show you my accounts. I show them readily and often. Readily and often. Where are we? Right there. Here we go. Okay, so who asked that question? Oh, 14 million of inventory. Okay, so 14 million of inventory. Here's my accounts for this year. See, the trades for 2025. Account 1, account 2, account 3 is at the 10-minute trader. Slide all the way down at the bottom. You'll see every single trade I've made so far this year. Okay, and right there. Week number 1. Week 1, quarter 1, December 30th to January 3rd. Okay, account 1, account 2, account 3. Take a look yourself. J-O, K-O. Now, K-O, I know who that is. We looked at that last night. Last night was a no. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Sandy, good evening. Ramal, good evening. Michael Anthony. Intel, yes. NVIDIA, no. UNH, University of New Hampshire. Options on SoFi. Hey, God's virus. Yeah, go take a look at the dividends that SoFi pays out. See how consistently profitable they are. Okay, NVIDIA's up 5.3%. I mean, 5.63%. I don't do NVIDIA. Okay, we'll take a look at it in a minute and I'll show you why I don't do it. Okay, 14 million in inventory. Irizo, more in the winter, less in the summer. I have no idea what that means. Oh, how much inventory do you really have? Okay, that's funny. Let me know if you want to place an order. Okay, VST. What the heck is VST? Oh, let's get out of that. We don't need to see that. What the heck? All right. I'll write VST down. We'll take a look at it also. VST. All right. Sit tight. Rio. Aaron wants to take a look at Rio. R-I-O. Rio. And Taiwan Semiconductors. That's TSM. Is that right? TSM? TSM. All right. All right. Where are we? Okay. We're finishing with Alcoa. Now, the last 30 days for Alcoa gives me a good idea of what direction the stock's going next. Okay, the 13th. Looking for the 14th. Right there. There we go. Here's the last 30 days. Okay, drops. Here's the 30-day bottom. Shoots up, back down, back up, back down. Now she shoots right up here. She gaps up here. There's going to be profit taking eventually, but when? Because this here, this gap up, well, that came from the administration saying we're going to pause the 90 days for the tariffs. All right, so we'll put a 90 days pause on it. Okay, fine. So everything shot up. But right now it's at 28.65, not someplace I want to buy. I don't like buying at the high. I prefer to sell at the high. All right, it is what it is. Let's keep on keeping on. So if we were going to do Alcoa, which, by the way, I already do own some Alcoa, just to let you know, so I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. No surprises. 28, so we're looking at the 29s. All right, so let's try a 29. Why not? Very first one, we might as well do one. The 29s are right there for this week. One contract. Okay, now one contract is 100 shares. Okay, so whether you buy a $1 stock or a $100 stock, you still need to own 100 shares. Scotty Cook, what's happening? You still need to own 100 shares to do one covered call. Okay, so they have stocks that are, below $1 and all the way up to over $1,000. There's over 10,000 stocks. I'm sure you can find one somewhere in your budget that fits. Find a good company. Keep your eye on it. Keep watching it. Does it make sense? Is it something you want to own? Urban, how are you today? Wait, I have a question. Okay. Urban, what's your question? Go ahead, shoot. Don't. As per MSN, projected good for 20 days. All right, Aaron, thank you. All righty, so that's the only question we have at the moment. All right, so here's the order right here. This is what it should sound like. Buy one covered call, Alcoa, 100, that is the weekly. 16 May 25, that's this coming Friday. So what are we getting for just 3 days? Now remember, I want to jump in and I want to jump out this week. Worst case scenario, I'll take it into next week. All right, well, let's keep on moving. $85 is the maximum profit on this contract. Okay, what is it costing? $2,800. So let's break up the calculator and see what kind of rate of return that's going to be. Because the way you find your rate of return, you whip out your little calculator, okay, and then you divide the profit, $85, divided by the cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 2,815. 2,815, and that gives us a grand total of, holy, nice, 3% for 3 days. That's pretty good. I'm going to write that one down. $3.01. All right, so that's Alcoa. But here's the big question. Okay, yeah, okay, so the numbers worked. The profit's nice. But you're avoiding a very big question, and that big question is, do I like Alcoa? Okay, how long have they been in business? How long have they been profitable? Is this a company I want to buy and hold on to? It's a very good question. Like I said, I already own some, so I'm not looking to jump in tomorrow. All right, I already have it. But besides the point, let's move on to the next one. The next one, let's get out of that. Whoops, back to that, and back to this. All right, next one on the list. What's your view on mini futures? All right, I don't do futures at all, but I do thank you for asking there, Michael. Okay, cool. I'm keeping up with all the questions. All righty. All right, so next one on the list. NSC. I can't even read my own writing. It's horrible. NSC. What the heck is NSC? Norfolk Southern. Oh, yeah. We looked at this one the other day. Look at that big jump right there. I'm looking for 5 things. Anytime I look at any stock, either it's a 1-year chart, a 90-day chart, a 30-day chart, whatever chart I'm looking for 5 things. Number 1, where's the high? Number 2, where's the low? Number 3, where was it a year ago? Number 4, where is it right now? And number 5, what's the direction? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that is easy to see. So let's zoom in and take a look at that. Wait a minute. Before we zoom in, take a look at the 90-day. What kind of profits are we looking at? Well, the last trade was 240. All right, so the 240 is going for 230 to 410, which is right around 1%. Okay, that works. Porter, what option would you recommend for a first timer? None. My recommendation for first timers is find a paper trading account. Whether you go with Charles Schwab's Thinkorswim or Charles Schwab's other trading platform, whether you go with oh my goodness, who gives paper trading? E-Trade does, I'm aware of that. Fidelity, I'm not sure if Fidelity does it, but there's a lot of them out there. Okay, you just go to Google, paper trading for stock charts or whatever, and then find a good company to start paper trading. It's kind of like playing Monopoly in the stock market. It's not real money, but you do gain real experience. What do I mean by that? Well, you're using the same terminology because you're looking at terminology you probably never used before. And then you're looking at a strategy you probably never even conceived before. Because nobody ever talked about weekly rates of return. Most people talk about annual rate of return, okay, but not weekly. So this is something new. AVGO. If you already own Alcoa, then would you want to sell a call against what you already own? Well, yeah. I already did that on Monday. Okay, today's Tuesday. Okay, I do most of my covered calls on Monday because on Monday morning I get 5 days of time value. Okay, 9:30 a.m. to 3:59 p.m. is the absolute maximum amount of time you have available every single week. So to capitalize on that, you can make your trades first thing in the morning on Monday. And then on a Friday afternoon, just before the market closes, that's when you decide to, do I let it expire? Do I let it get called away? Do I roll it into next week? What is the best play? What is the best trade for me to do on a Friday afternoon to make sure I'm consistently profitable, I'm not risking any of my capital, and the cash flow keeps rolling in? That's what I'm looking for. Consistency of profitability and preservation of my capital. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you're all on board. If you're looking for anything other than that, you're probably in the wrong place. If you're looking to buy a stock and have it shoot through the moon and retire tomorrow, yep, you're in the wrong place. I don't do that. I'm looking for 1% a week. And yeah, it sounds like it's not a lot of money, but 1% every single week comes to over 50% per year. And if you compound it, you can literally double your money in 14 to 16 months. Questions? Oh, got it. Shell, good evening. You can roll an option to the next week, or is that just a covered call? No, you can roll any option into the next week. It doesn't have to be a covered call. All right, let's keep moving. So NSC, let's take a look. A year ago, we're at 231. The high of the year, looks like we have a double high. Once in November and again in December, 277. From there, she drops to the bottom, right down here. Looks like it's in the beginning of April. Okay, the bottom was in the beginning of April at 201. All right, well, look at where we are now. So from the bottom of the year, now if you're going to make money stock market, buy low, sell high. Yeah, well, you can't get any lower than the low of the year, and that's the number right there. She shot up, went sideways a bit, then she gapped up on Monday, and today she went a little bit higher. Now we're sitting at 240.26. Now, I don't like buying when it's this high, so that's not something I would do. But if you like it, hey, make sure the numbers work. All right? John, good evening. Taiwan Semiconductors, TSM. Yeah, we're going to look at that in a little bit. What's your view on mini futures? We already did that one. No. What is paper trading? It's kind of like Monopoly. What do I drink? Go trading? This is tea for my throat because I'm not used to talking so much. Okay, if you don't talk for the most of your life and then all of a sudden you stand in front of the camera and talk for hours upon hours upon hours, yeah, it starts to hurt your voice box. All right, I got a question over here. Do you only do calls, any puts? Taxman? Yes, I do puts also, and you got to change that name. You keep using that name, nobody's going to invite you anywhere because it's the Taxman. Yeah. Okay, thank you for teaching. You're welcome. All righty, let's keep on going. All righty, so that's NSC, Taiwan Semiconductors. Isn't that TSM? TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. Yeah, I was right. Banjo, if you roll an option, you're just selling it and buying it further out. Is that correct? No. Nope. Banjo, you have it incorrect. Okay, when I roll a covered call option, I'm buying back this week's option and I'm selling next week's option. You have the kind of right, but you got the terminology incorrect. Okay, you're selling it and then buying further out. No. You're buying current and you're selling further out. So you said you like to do all your calls and puts on a Monday. Okay, Porter, yes, I did say that. All right. So TSM, I'm going to say no to TSM right off the bat. It should take you 3 to 4 seconds to quickly look at a chart. 3 to 4. That's it, 3 to 4 seconds. 5 things, you ready? See how quick you can do it. High, low, was, is, look at the direction. Up, down, up. Okay, 3 to 4 seconds. That's all it should take. You could take one look at it, high, low, was, is, all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff, and then move on to the next one. Because look at this right here. Here's your bottom right here, okay, 135, and it shot up to 193. So 135 to 193 is over $60. Now, $60 on a $130 stock is close to 45%. You think there ain't going to be profit taken? You got another thing coming to you. I personally never buy at the high. Sorry, it just doesn't work for me. Okay, here's your last 30 days. Okay, your last 30 days, down, up. Yeah, I don't buy at the high. Sorry. You stealing that one? Be my guest. Albemarle. Ooh, we haven't looked at Albemarle in a while. Fitness King. I would like to step by step how the options work. I know to trade. Okay, Fitness King. You got to work on your punctuation, dude. Okay, but yeah, just sit, chill, hang out. I'm here every night from 9:15 until about 11:30, 11:40, whenever you guys done asking questions. Now, TSM, I'm going to say no, because this is a time for selling, not time for buying, in my humble opinion. And yes, I have been wrong once or twice. Okay, so no, I wouldn't be buying TSM this time of year. So Fitness King, like I said, sit, chill, hang out. We'll get to that. Albemarle. At Porlux. At Porlux. Okay. ALB. Albemarle. ALB. Albemarle. There we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, doesn't take long. High, low was this. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. Simple, right? 3 to 4 seconds. 61.86. The closest strike price to 61.86 is going to be the 62. And the 62 is selling for 130. Now, 130 is pretty close to 2%. Now, if you know your simple math, 1% a week is over 50% per year. 2% a week, that's over 100% a year. That's doubling your money every year. Well, that's freaking awesome. How often have you simply, safely, and predictably doubled your money every year? Taxman, is there a certain time of day you tend to trade or look at the day's movement? 9:30 a.m. Okay, stock market opens up at 9:30. I honestly this is hard for people to understand. I honestly really don't care about the movement during the day. I don't. Yeah, baby, in the house. How you doing? I don't really care about the movement of the stock during the day. My main focus, consistency of profitability and weekly options. Is the company consistently profitable? Well, Albemarle is. Is it the right time to buy? Well, look, here's the bottom here. Now it's going up. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it looks right. But I want to zoom in a little bit closer to see if it's the right time to buy. Because just because it's a good, profitable company, and just because the numbers look good, it might not be an optimum time for buying based on what you and I are doing. Now, you and I, are buyers and sellers. We buy, we sell. Well, when we buy, stocks go up. When we sell, stocks go down. I'm not saying that whatever I buy goes up, whatever I sell goes down. I'm not saying that at all. But on average, more people buying, stock has a tendency to go up. Once it gets to a certain height or a certain distance from when you bought it to where it is now, people start selling and then the stock drops. Just keep an eye on the stocks you like. When it hits the right time, then it's a good time to buy in. All right? All right, so let's take a look at what's going on with Albemarle. Now, with Albemarle, a year ago was the high of the year. And that's 138.18. That was a year ago. Okay, now last 90 days would be right about there. Here's the last 90 days. Now, 4 or 5 seconds. Sorry, 3 to 4 seconds, sorry. High, low, is, look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. See what's going on right here? This is the action this week. So we want to zoom in a little bit closer and see the last 30 days. Because the last 30 days will give me a good idea of where it's going next. Okay, so 30 days ago, we're at 58. Then we drop down to 51. From there, we shoot up to the high, which is right around 63, pull back a little bit, and then shoot back up to 63 again, and then pull back today. So not quite a good time to jump into AVGO. You had the big jump here, hit the high here, now it's pulling back. So maybe not AVGO this week. What ticker is he reviewing? K, low Detroit. AVGO, ALB. That's not what I typed. Fitness King. I would like to step by step how the options work. I know to trade. Okay, that's not what I typed. Hey, you love that AI, man. That's what you're going to get. Stevie! Hey, James, how's AVGO? Okay, you know we don't do AVGO. I'm pretty sure. Is it AVGO? There's one of them I just don't do. It sounds very similar to that one. AVGO. Yo, what's up?
Can we do ABR?
ABR?
Arbor Realty Trust.
AB, like Alpha, Bravo, Romeo? Okay, Alpha, Bravo. Yeah, give me one second. Let me finish it with AVGO first. ABR. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll take a look at it. So I'm going to say no to AVGO again because look at this. I don't buy at the 30-day high. Isolate the last 30 days. What do you think? When is the last time somebody's ever said to you, hey, look at AVGO. It's at the high. We should buy it. No. Buy low, sell high. Okay? I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I'm just telling you or showing you how to time the market using a different strategy. Because that's all stocks do. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. That's it. So this one went up. Oh, great. I don't own it, but it is what it is. Tax ban. Is there a certain already did that? Okay, did that one, did that one, did that one. Pepsi. Alex, we'll take a look at Pepsi in a little bit. All right, and what do we have over here? AVGO, Mara. Oh, we'll take a look at Mara. I do own some Mara. All right, what ticker's reviewing? Got that one. FSLR. Nick. FSLR. Okay, now, Nick, I'm kind of curious. You like FSLR. Now, I'm inquisitive. What makes FSLR so appealing to you? Okay, so write it in the chat. What makes it so appealing to you? And then as soon as I finish looking at ABR, ABR, then we'll come back and take a look at FSLR. ABR. Arbor Realty Trust. Okay. Well, here we go. Check that out. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. Okay. 1125 at the moment. The 11s, the 1150s. Ugh. Ugh. Did I say that loud enough? Ugh. 11. The 11s are going for 5 cents. I'm going to say hell no, brother. Okay, let's wait a second before I say no, because we only have 3 days this week. So let's look at next week. Okay, so for this week, ABR is a definite no. The numbers are terrible. Next week, the 11's going from 0 to 25, and the 1150s are going from 2 to 6. Okay? So I'm going to say no, only because the numbers are absolutely horrendous. Okay? It may be a great time to buy based on the chart. But if I'm doing a covered call, now the reason why I like covered calls, they're simple, they're safe, they're predictable, they're consistent. I know exactly what I'm going to make before I even do the trade. And it's safe. Okay, you can actually do a covered call in an IRA. Certain trades you cannot do in your IRA. Well, a covered call, you can. So ABR, dude, I'm going to say no. For me. But if you like it, more power to you. Let's take a look at the last 30 days and see what it looks like. See, look at that. It's like almost great opportunity for jumping in. Okay? It was at 1080, it jumps up to 1160, drops down to 10. Now it shoots back up. So here's the bottom here. Shoots up, pull back, and you get a couple of days to the upside. Well, yeah, it looks like it's going to continue going up. But a covered call, It's just not worth the effort. There's too many other stocks that are better than that one. All right, so Nick, I'm waiting to hear from you, Nick. What is so appealing but FSLR? I'm waiting, Nick. Mr. Bill, back again. Nice to see you. You going to behave tonight? Or do I got to delete you off of this account too? Okay, so ABR is going to be a no. Sorry, dude. Ooh. Next on the list. Pfizer, PFE. PFE. All right, somebody just asked me about HIMS. HIMS. All right, B, do me a favor, okay? This is me talking to you. Go to whatever financial website you use to research this HIMS thing, and then let me know in the chat how many years of consistent increased profitability does HIMS have. Same thing with you, BST, okay, UNP, same thing. Bob, Proctor Gamble, I like that one. Hey, I thought you were going to behave. No. I'm going to behave. You got to behave. Don't give me any of that silly crap that you were doing the other day. All right, so UNP. What the heck is UNP? Union Pacific Railroad. Yeah, baby. Gotta love Union Pacific. I'm going to say hell no to that one because the profit taking has already started. Look at the big jump on Monday. Okay, today we went a little higher, but then we started pulling back. More than likely, you get a bottom here. Okay, she went up. Now she's pulling back. So it's a little fickle when you have such a big jump on a Monday. BST. What the heck is BST? And I got all these questions answered. Pepsi, PEP. Ooh, we were looking at Pepsi yesterday. Okay, Sunday, Monday, and now tonight. This is the third time we're looking at Pepsi. And this is the third bottom in a row. Okay, so look at the bottom. Today, lower than yesterday. Yesterday was lower than Friday. Okay, well, we're waiting to find the new bottom. Don't get me wrong, I love Pepsi. They're a dividend king. They've been in business for over 100 years. Okay, what do the numbers look like? 130? The 130s are going for 210. Well, that's awesome. But it hasn't stopped dropping yet. Okay, it's still going down. Today is the new bottom of the year for Pepsi. All right, Alex. Pepsi's at the bottom of the year. Great opportunity. Just keep your eye on it. When she turns around, starts going back up, that's a perfect opportunity to go in. Well, I like 2 days of the upside. So yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe I'll jump in on Friday, but definitely by Monday. So I'm going to write Pepsi down for next week. Definitely down for next week. Thanks. Waiting for that opportunity. Opportunity are you looking for? Oh, you're waiting for the opportunity for Pepsi to find the bottom. Well, hypothetically speaking, it should be sometime this week. I mean, how much further can it go down? Look at the beginning of April. Down. Okay, so at what time do we find the bottom? Yogi Giral, why not right now if it's going to go up anyway on Pepsi? Well, because why would you buy here if this is not the bottom? Because tomorrow it could go lower. And then Thursday, it could go lower. And then Friday, it could go lower. It could keep going lower until it stops. That's the way stocks work. They go down until they're done. And they're done when they're done. I mean, why does the sun rise in the east and set in the west? Because it just does. Stocks go up until they're done. And then they come down until they're done. They go in the direction they're going until they're done going in that direction. So why jump in at 130 when this thing could go down to 120? It could go down to 110. Patience is a virtue. What's your hurry? The stock market's been around for 400 years. I don't think a couple of days is really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. No, Bill, I didn't. I didn't delete my other account because I'm using it right now. I just threw you off of it because you weren't behaving. Plain and simple. I don't play the games, Bill. Thanks for waiting for that opportunity. Ricky, can you look at ticker AFRM? Affirm, AFRM, AFRM. Okay, what about it? And see how you like the stock as well as new Nucor. Okay, AFRM, Affirm Holdings, 53.94. Okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement, down, up, down, up. Okay, great. Does this thing have 20 years of dividends? I'm not quite sure. Let's find out. AFRM. Yahoo Finance. Come on. Yahoo Finance. AFRM. Here we go. AFRM. Affirm Holdings. Well, let's find out. Okay. Alfonso, good evening. It's basically the pay later when people buy stuff online. No, it doesn't. I forgot you only like dividends. Okay, look at it this way. The reason I like dividends is it gives me a clear view on the profits the company makes. It's either that or I read all those 20 years worth of quarterly reports, annual reports, and dive into that way. I could. I don't want to. But also, the reason why I like dividend stocks is because, let me open this up. We don't even need to look at it because he already said it doesn't. Well, that's weird. Okay, now, the other reason I like dividend stocks is because this here is an EX dividend calendar, okay? May 25, May 2025, that's this year. Okay, we are in the 13th, which is right here. Okay, so yesterday, CWT, Granger, PPG, Stanley Black, STW, is that Stanley Black & Decker? Okay, Consolidated Edison and Target having the dividends tomorrow. Okay, now, just before the dividend date, the stock has a tendency to go up. That means I know in advance that the stock is going to move, because stocks only move for two reasons. One is a known reason we know and we can plan for it. Second is an unknown reason. Well, that's anything from a lawsuit to a natural disaster or something we just can't control. We don't know when it's going to happen. It just pops up out of nowhere. That's an unknown event. We can't plan for that. But a known event we can plan for. Well, what is a known event? Dividends, earnings, stock splits, conference calls, seasonality, winter, spring, summer, fall, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. Different companies react differently at different times of year. That's what's called seasonality. And we can predict that because stocks move at a certain time every single year. Well, based on the calendar, when a company has a dividend, it has a tendency to go up in value. So knowing that ahead of time, that's how I plan buying my stocks. So if I'm buying them just before the EX date and the stock goes up in value or stays the same, doesn't matter to me. It's just I want to know ahead of time to have the odds and probabilities in my favor. Okay, so if 3M, let's highlight that one. If 3M has its dividend on the 23rd of this month, May 23rd, okay, 3M, we all know who 3M is. Okay, if has a tendency to go up in value just before this date, well, wouldn't I do something before that date? So if the stock's going to move up, yeah, that's great information to have. But what trading strategy do you use? The simplest and easiest is buying the stock. That's the simplest and easiest. It's also the least amount of profit. It is what it is. Simple, easy, least amount of profits. Okay, so a simple strategy, not the simplest, but simple and still safe, is a covered call, where you buy the stock and you sell an option. You incorporate stock options into your buying process. This gives you a guaranteed income every single week. Okay? So, Nick, I think solar incentives are here for a while, and FSLR is an industry leader in a growing industry. Well, Nick, you know what? That's an awesome answer. Most people, when I ask them to give me an answer, they just don't say anything. So for that, I am going to look up FSLR for you and give you my opinion. You might not like it, but I'll do it anyway. Kenny, what's happening? Okay, Ricky. Hello and good evening, Alfonso. BGS is a stock I was looking into. It that is 52-week low, pays a generous dividend. Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at that. What do I usually trade? Dividend stocks. Simple. All right, Mr. Bill, thank you for that. NBIS. Porter, what the heck is NBIS? NBIS. All right, so let's get back to where we were. Back to our trading. Back to our charts. AFRM. No dividends. Should we even bother it? Look at the last 30 days. Last 30 days, right here. I don't know. What do you think? 30 days ago it was at the bottom. Now it's at the top. I don't like buying at the top. I'll buy it at the bottom and watch it go up. Jeff Bezos just bought $7 million in NBIS. I have no idea what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but NBIS. That's going to be a no also. It's at the high. Yeah, no, thank you. Sorry. It's actually just that simple. Sorry. Okay, so Nick, you actually did some work, Nick, so I'm going to take a look at FSLR. FSLR. All right, hell no. What makes you think that's a good deal? I mean, think about it. 30 days ago, it was at 120. Now it's at 190. I'm not buying something that had a $70 jump in the last 2 or 3 days. The profit opportunity's already gone by. Sorry, Nick. But look, your bottom is here, 120. Now we're at 191. Okay, this is something you should have bought into a long time ago, not now. Or wait for the profit taking, because look at the jump. It's a $70 jump, a $70 jump on a $120 stock. It was 120 2 weeks ago. You could have bought in at 120 2 weeks ago, and then she jumps up $70. That's a nice move. Now you're going to wait for the profit taking. Okay, once the profit taking's done, then jump in. Ricky McFall. Okay. Ricky McFall wants to take a look at, what the heck is that? Zim? Hell no. Okay, Ricky, Zim does not have 20 years of dividends. BGS, I doubt they have it also. Yeah, no. Okay, Ricky, see this? 16 May, 20 June, 15 August, 21 November. Those are months. Those are monthly optionable stock. No. See, monthly, you can only do it once a month, which means I'm getting, what, 12 to 24% a year? Yeah, no, thank you. Imagine that. No to 12 to 24% a year. No. Because there are too many companies that have weekly options, which would give me 50 to 100% per year. If I get 1% a week, that's 50% a year. If I get 2% a week, that's 100% a year. Why would I do a monthly? Do it 12 times a year. So at 1%, that's only 12% for the year. 2%, that's only 24% for the year. No thanks. Okay, BGS is basically a consumable product that we use every day at the grocery store, and it's been here before you were born. Awesome. I think that's absolutely awesome. But it's a monthly option, and I don't do monthly optional stocks. The numbers just don't work. Kate, good evening. You like my picture? I can't see it, Kate, and I have no desire to even look. Terribly sorry. I'm not in here for that. All right, so let's take a look at what else we're looking at. Porter, figured you might see a pattern. Okay, pattern's nice, but is it the right time to buy? Now, I look at something every single week, and I look at specifically companies that are consistently profitable. So if it's consistently profitable, well, I have it on my radar already. And the one you're asking me to take a look at, it's not on my radar. And there's a reason why it's not on my radar. Something is missing for me. Okay, if you like it, I'm not telling you not to buy something. If you like it, fine, buy it. Hatan, I'm not American. Do you advise to get into the stock market? Oh, well, the USA stock market, it's the only one I understand. I can't give advice on foreign markets because I don't know them. It would be irresponsible of me to give anyone advice on something I know nothing about. The only thing I know about foreign markets is you can only exercise the options on the day of expiration. That's the only thing I know about foreign markets. Okay, I don't even know if they report the same kind of information. Do they have different rules on their dividends? Because I was under the impression to collect a dividend, you had to own the stock for a year. Well, here in the U.S., you don't. You'll only have to own a stock for 2 days in order to collect a dividend. I never knew that until somebody told me. All right. Did you do any trades today? Nope, I did all my trades yesterday. Okay, ever use Bollinger Bollinger lines? Okay, yeah, decades ago. I haven't used them in decades. I can't even read that one. Artisia stock. Can't even see that one. BLMN. Shell, what is BLMN? BLMN. It's a hell no is what it is. Save this screenshot for later. Yeah, I don't think so, Kate, but thank you. Yeah, I don't do monthlies. You see that? 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, 17 October. Those are months of the year. I don't do those. Weekly only. Weekly looks something like this. 16 May, 23 May, 30 May, 6 June, 13 June, 20 June, 27 June. Those are weeks. Every single week. There's 52 of them. Why would you collect a check once a month when you can collect a check once a week? Thoughts on Palantir? Hell no, Freddie. Freddie, go take a look. Financial website. See how often did Palantir increase its dividends over the last 2 decades. Come back to me and I'll take a good look at it for you. I will look at anything you want on Palantir. Once you find out and tell me how often has Palantir increased its dividends to its shareholders over the last 2 decades. How many times in a row? Iron Will, how are you today? Bollinger Bands, nope. Can you do Artisia? You gotta give me the ticker symbol. I've never heard of that company before. Cash Steps Pro, how much have you made today? I didn't do any trading today. Today's Tuesday. I do my trading on Mondays and Fridays for the most part. Just launched an immigration OS for the government. Okay, Freddie, thank you for the input, but it wasn't the question I asked. Life goes much easier. I always find it rather strange nowadays. People answer questions with a question or a statement, not an answer. Okay? I love it when Congress does it. You ask a congressman a question, a yes-no question, and they'll give you a whole shitload of answers. A word salad. I wonder how many people know what that means. Top Dad Baby, what's happening? I love Zim. Okay, Aaron, I'm glad you like Zim. Zim is a no for me. Oh, FSLR projected to nosedive. Thank you there, Aaron. I bought a couple months ago. Alrighty. Now, I don't tell people what to buy and I don't tell people what to sell. Okay, I just take a look at what you guys ask me to take a look at. VFC, I like VFC. That one's on my list. Okay, so here's VFC. Again, that little bump up right there is going to be an issue. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up. 15, the 15s are going for $1.03. Holy shit, that's nice. $1.03 on a $15 stock, that's over 5% for 1 week. Does it make sense? Now, that's the big question. Now, don't get me wrong, I like VFC. VFC is a company that I would buy under normal circumstances. But look at this right here. Here's your high, here's your low, now it's heading up. But that is for what, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 months? That's the last 4 months. Well, what's the last 30 days look like? Okay, here's your last 30 days. Your 30-day bottom shot up nicely. Yesterday was the high, so today she pulled back a little bit. What's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. Now, I like VFC. Really, I do. It's on my list. But I wouldn't be buying it today. Okay, I probably, see right here where it went up, pulled back, 1 day, 2 days, I probably would have jumped in on this day if I was going to jump in. Okay, because see, look, I like 2 days to the upside. Let me show you that. All right, let's back up for a little bit. Okay. See how the movement is? Down, up, down. Here's a new bottom here. Okay, that's a bottom. Turned around, went back up. 1 day up, 2 days up. Great. 2 days to the upside. I love 2 days to the upside when there's a new bottom. Okay, she shot up, pulled back. Here's the bottom right there. 2 days. Okay, what happened next? The very next day, very next day, she opened up higher, 1356. That's my cue to jump in because it opened up higher on the third day from the bottom. Okay, 1 day, 2 day, here's the third day. That's where I would have jumped in. Unfortunately, it pulled back on that day, but I don't watch the stocks all day. I'm on 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in the morning, and then I'm done. Okay, I have no clue what happened today with my accounts because I look at them in the morning after the day before. So what happens today? I'll take a look at it tomorrow morning because there's nothing I can do tonight. So what's the sense of getting all worked up about it? So tomorrow, and most of my trades are for a week at a time. They're not daily trades. 1 week at a time. So I buy on Monday, and hopefully I'll be out on Friday. Hopefully. Every once in a while, if it makes financial sense, I will roll it into the next week to collect more profits. And that's a question that I can only answer on a Friday afternoon because we have no idea what happens on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Okay, so when I buy on a Monday morning, I have no idea what's happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Friday, well, that's when I sit down and say, all right, what happened during the week? What do I do now? Now, I do all weekly trades. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Now, remember, I created this strategy for my 9-year-old daughter when she was 9 back in 2008. So in 2008, she wanted to say, hey, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? So most adults don't get this. They don't understand and they can't do it. So how can a 9-year-old do it? Okay, so I came up with a trading strategy specifically for my 9-year-old daughter. And it just works so well, I keep on doing it. Okay, rule number 1. Never buy a stock that doesn't make sense. If it's not on your list, don't buy it. If it's not something you want to hold for the rest of your life, don't buy it. It's a simple question. If you don't like the company, don't buy it. It's so simple, it's mind-boggling. Don't buy it if you don't want to own it for the rest of your life. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you buy something and then sell it for less later on? You're just contradicting what you just did. If it doesn't make sense, don't buy it. And once you buy it, never sell at a loss. Do whatever you need to do to consistently have cash flow coming in. That's why I do weekly options only. Because even if the stock drops, I can still sell a covered call against it and have something coming in. Because something is better than nothing, no matter where you go. And that has happened to me often. Okay, so I've been doing this for a long time. So yeah, every once in a while, I'll have to sell a option for a less than desirable amount to keep from losing money and to keep money coming in. All right, so we got a couple of questions. What do we got? Tomoso. How are you doing there, dude? Glad everything's going good for you. All right, Aaron, you like Zim. Okay, great. Wonderful. I don't like Zim, and there's a reason why I don't like Zim. All right, so Nick, if you want a good buy today, look at Target. Ooh, Target. Let's take a quick look at Target, because Target's on my list also. Dividend King, they've been around for quite a while. Let's take a look at the numbers. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Sideways, down, up, 99. It's at 99 at the moment. So the 99, holy cow. Oh, that's next week. What's the 99 for this week? Okay, so the 99 for this week is $1.17. That's over 1%. The 99 for next week is $4.60. I don't know about you, but I take the 99 for next week. That would give me over 2% a week, this week and next week. That's 2%. Okay, that's over 4%. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Target, because Target is on my list. Okay, well, a year ago, Target opened up at 164. Well, the high of the year was in mid-August, and that was 148. That can't be right. Wait a second. If a year ago we're at 164, why aren't these numbers? Oh, these numbers over here working out right. Okay, so opening 160 to 164. All right, anyway. The high right there, 167, last 90 days. Okay, high low is, look at the motion. Down, up. All right, she pulled up yesterday. Today she pulled back a little bit. What does that mean? Last 30 days. Okay, high low is, look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. Now she's coming back down. Okay, she's got a gap here. So is it a good buy? Is it not? Do you like Target at $100? That's the question. Do you like Target at $100? If you do, it's about a 4% trade for next week. Uh-oh. Fitness King. Is it a guarantee that I would be able to sell a weekly stock? Well, Fitness King, yeah. It is guaranteed you can sell your stock every single week. However, you didn't ask the important question. Okay? You can sell anytime you want. You might have to take a loss if you want that opportunity to sell anytime you want. So you asked the wrong question, okay? Target's earnings 521, hence elevated call premium. What about gold? Is it still going below 3,000? Don't know, don't care. Peeler, crypto is better. Now, I seriously doubt that, Peeler. Now, the reason why I say that, Peeler, number one, the stock market has been around for 400 years, 400 years, okay? There's companies available that you can buy that have been in business for more than 200 years. Cryptocurrency is not even 20 years old yet. It's a great concept. Okay, get it out of the greedy little fingers of the bankers and the government. That's a great idea, but there's no way to get consistency and weekly profitability unless you decide to sit in front of your computer and watch this chart. But then it's not guaranteed and it's not consistent or predictable. Okay, so as much as I love the idea of cryptocurrency, it's just not there yet. Okay, so I'm not telling you not to buy it. I'm just saying, I'm watching it, and I've been watching it for the past few years. Okay, I've seen it go up, I've seen it go down. I've seen some cryptocurrency just disappear and take millions upon millions of dollars along with it. I prefer not to have that happen to me. Okay, so one of my objectives, I got a few objectives. Number one is consistency of profitability. Number two is preservation of my capital. If I lose money, which you can do in cryptocurrency, I'll have to go back to work. I know that might sound like a bad thing, but I would prefer not to. I've been working since 1973. My first job was Old Man Simmons' farm. Okay, he'd pick me up right after the school bus. Okay, right, he'd be waiting there at the school bus stop. Okay, and we'd get off the bus would go, and we jump into the back of the pickup truck, Old Man Simmons' pick. My mother didn't even have any clue where the hell I was. After school, I'm going to work. Okay, I won't be home till late. What was I, 8, 9, 10 years old? Just didn't care. That's where I was. Get off the bus, I jumped in the back of Old Man Simmons' truck, and we went to the woods. We chopped firewood. We took care of the chickens. We did corn. We did pumpkins. We did blue Hubbard squash. We did everything you do on a farm. Okay? That was my first job, 1973. Okay, I'm 61. I want to retire. I have enough money. I'm going to retire. However, if I gave my money to a financial advisor, I'd still be working because what I have is not enough to retire based on traditional numbers. However, 1% a week, that's plenty of money for me with what I have. Rad Monkey, how are you today? I have a surefire investment idea for 2025. Mangoes. You have fun with that. Hubbard squash futures. There you go. That's another good one. All right, what do we have over here? Scotty, we already looked at Ford today. And we just looked at Target. Hannah, good evening. Fitness King. Now, Fitness King, when I say, no, I'm not even going to bother with that one. Shell, good evening. Why do you do weeklies only? Shell, that's a good question. Okay. Now, Shell, the reason I do weekly options only is because I want weekly cash flow. That's it. That's my reason. Okay. Now, I have two choices. I could sit in front of my computer all day long looking at charts, buying and selling. I could do that, but I prefer not to. I prefer to spend 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, do my trades, make my 1% and say, thank you. I'll see you next Monday. That's it. Okay, it's simple, it's easy, it's predictable, it's consistent. Okay, 5 or 10 minutes every single day, I get 1%. 1% on my account is over 50% per year. It is plenty for me. Okay, I'm at a point in my life where I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't need a house on the water. I don't need a supersized yacht. I want to be left alone, peace and quiet, and I want to hang out with my kids and my grandkids. As a matter of fact, I'm taking my kids. Taking my kids to see AC/DC this weekend. Yeah, can't wait. Anyway, alrighty. What else are we looking at? Kevin, good evening there, Mr. Kevin. ATZ. Who offers dividends? Oh, Bob, you want to know who offers dividends? Well, Bob, there are over 10,000 different companies you can invest in any day of the week. 10,000. We check every week. Every week I check at how many different companies are available because they keep adding and they keep taking away. Well, this week, we looked the other day, 10,036 companies. Okay, out of those 10,036 companies, about 5,500 actually have dividends. Okay, but out of those 5,500 companies have dividends, how many have consistently been profitable for 2 decades, and how many have weekly options? Well, that brings that 5,500 stocks down to about 300 or 400. That's about it. It's much easier looking at 300 or 400 companies than it is. VFC negative earnings, May 21. Wait a second. Isn't today May 13th? So how can we have negative earnings May 21 if we're only into May 13th? That's 8 days away, Aaron. Okay, Leon Salison. Lean Salison. I have whatever. ATZ. What the heck is ATZ? ATZ. ATS. It doesn't even show up, dude. Okay? ATZ doesn't even show up. So it's going to be a no. Okay, if VFC is negative earnings, okay, we saw that question already. Oh, Aaron Wood. Crocs over VFC any day. Now, for some strange reason, Crocs interesting. However, not something I want to do this week. Okay, she dropped, she shot up, she went from 85 to 120. So 85 to 120 is 35 bucks. So a $35 increase in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. That's a lot. No, thank you. I don't buy at the high. Don't you guys look at any of these things before you ask me to look at them? Seriously. Shell, do you mind explaining the part where you said you sell covered call against? Oh, Shell, I'm going to assume you're new. Target neutral, low earnings expected May 21. Thank you, Aaron. Jets loosely. Is this a weekly cash secured put wheel strategy? I don't do the wheel strategy only because I give away one trading strategy for free. Just one. That's the covered call that I specifically created for my 9-year-old daughter. Okay, it's simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent. If you do it right, there's no way to lose. Okay, that's what I created for a 9-year-old. So the wheel strategy, although it's kind of interesting, and it works most part, I don't do it because you're basically doing the exact same thing. A cash secured put, you're taking a big chunk of money, you're putting it aside, and you're getting a return for it for the week. You still have to put that money aside doing a cash secured put. But it's almost the exact same as a covered call. You're taking a big chunk of money, you're putting it aside, and you're getting a weekly return. Same thing. Okay, but the reason why I don't teach the wheel strategy is because teaching a 9-year-old how to invest, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It has to be simple. The wheel strategy is not simple. You're adding more ingredients to the recipe. More ingredients means a need for more understanding. And I'm not quite sure if you ever had to reason or educate a 9-year-old little girl. Not the easiest thing in the world. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose. Okay? So no, I don't do the wheel strategy. This man has a 720p monitor in the background and no watch. Net worth is sub. I have no idea what that means. No watch? You mean no watch? Yeah, I've never worn a watch. My whole life, I may have owned 2 watches in my life. No jewelry either. I have an earring once in a while. No jewelry, no watch. Nope, I don't do that flashy crap. I like to be that rich guy in the back corner that nobody knows. I'll wear jeans and a t-shirt. I don't care. I don't need to impress anyone. Okay? Either what I'm saying makes sense or it doesn't. Okay? The way I live my life, the way I spend my money shouldn't be the main concern. If that's what you're looking for, you're definitely in the wrong place. Okay, what do we get? 9-year-old can't even invest. Lynn, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but my grandson is 5 and he has a trading account. Okay, his trading account started out with $50. So if a grandparent or a parent opens an account for a underage person, then yes, they can. Red Monkey. Hey, James, I am new to this channel. Can you give us a little bit more on your background in investing? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Hold that thought. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Now, I'm going to show you my weekly trades for 2024 on this page here. Here they all are right there. That's all for 2024. Okay, hold on. Let's go all the way back. All the way back. All the way back. Where the hell am I? Week 25. Holy cow, I'm going to go all the way down. Okay, my very first trades that I posted online for the viewing pleasure of the public was August 31st, 2011. Okay, I started out with 82,000. Here's all my trades. You can see all down a little bit lower. Okay, busy 9/28, 2011. What is this one? I can't even read that. So small. This one here. 2014. What date? What date is this one? Oh, 2012. Okay, those ones I posted in 2012. Hold on. I still got some more for you. Hold on a minute. YouTube channel. Hold that thought. We're going to show you something else. Give you a little bit more perspective of what I'm doing. Going to YouTube channel, The 10MinuteTrader. There it is right there. The 10MinuteTrader. You see this right there? 1,000 videos. So I've stood in front of my camera, shot 1,000 videos to share with you. Did I do that in 1 year? No, I didn't. So let's take a look at the videos. Let's go to the oldest. Here's the princess right here 12 years ago.
Hi, I'm JC, and you being part of my internet website called Thingy, which my dad doesn't let me calling it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks and other trading, and every month you'll be getting.
And there's me. As soon as the video catches up, that is about 15 years ago. I had more hair back then, okay, but doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now, okay? So I'm not quite sure how much historical performance you want to see of what I've been doing in my background. It's basically the exact same thing for the last 15 years. The only reason that you're here now is 2 years ago. When TikTok came available to do live shows, someone put me in front of a camera and said, hey, share what you got. So I've been doing this here live every night for 2 years. I'm not quite sure if that's good enough of a background. So I'm not sure if you're looking for, what exactly is it you're looking for? Okay, that's a good question. What answer is it you want to hear? Do I have a formal education on investing? No, this is not formal education. You go to any formal education person and you ask them about weekly compounded interest, they'll look at you funny because nobody in their traditional sense does weekly investing that I know of. My most bullish is mRNA. Ooh, Mike, you like Moderna. Cool beans. So a red monkey, I'm not quite sure if that's enough for you. So Lynn,
you being part of my internet website club thingy, which my dad didn't let me call him that.
the oldest. There she is right there too.
Hi everybody, this is JC from the 10MinuteTrader, and I was just doing some trades, so.
Yep, that's her many, many years ago. Oh, what the hell am I doing now? All right, let's get out of that one. Don't need to see that. Don't need to see that. Let's get out of that one. So hopefully, okay, if you're looking for a professor with a degree in weekly options trading, no, I ain't your guy. Okay? I'm from the streets. I've been working since I was 10, 11 years old, since 1973. I got to a certain point where you make so much money, what do you do with it? Well, you start investing it. Yeah, I made a lot of stupid mistakes 20 years ago. It hasn't been for the last 15 years when I taught my daughter how to do this when she was 9. Okay, fine. So at age 9, now she knows how to do this. Yugi Giral wants to take a look at Donut. D-Nut. Okay, let's get out of this one. We don't need to see that one anymore. So hopefully, Rad Monkey, hopefully that works for you. Luke, willpower go somewhere else. You're obviously just trolling. Thank you for that. I will check your channel out. Thanks. Well, hey, Matt Daddy's in the house. Matt Daddy, you haven't said anything. Come on, you know you want to say something. Anyway, all right, so let's keep on keeping on. Okay, Yuki wants to take a look at D-Nut. Isn't that Krispy Kreme? D-Nut? It is, it's Krispy Kreme. Ooh, now this one, I like the chart, but I don't like monthly options. So unfortunately, it's going to be a no, Yugi. Yugi Giral, okay? 16 May, 20 June, 18 July. Those are months of the year. It doesn't really work for me. Terribly sorry. IBIT options chain is weekly. IBIT. Wait a minute. IBIT. Isn't that an ETF? IBIT. Yeah, iShares Bitcoin ETF. So it's going to be the same thing, dude. Look at this. Why would you be buying way up here? If you like it that much, wait for the profit, taking the start. Once it comes back down, then jump in. Until then, just watch. Okay, nothing goes up forever. Jerry McCracken. What about B? What the heck is B? Oh, Barnes. Oh. Barrick Mining Corporation. Interesting. It's at 8. Oh, yeah, it's dropping, though. Look at that. Okay, high, low is, look at this. Up, down. It's actually dropping at the moment. Why would I be? Okay, no, wait for the bottom. It's pretty simple. If you really like this company, wait for it to find a bottom, turn around, go back up before you jump in. Because right now, the 18s are going for 29. Next week's they're going for 45. So next week is over 2%. 2% every week is over 100% a year, if you like that. How do I get into this stuff? Dev, how are you today? You can just show up every day. Or you can send me a phone number. I can give you a chat. Rad Monkey, is your thoughts on gold? We'll have a pullback. Okay, Rad Monkey, you asked me this a couple of days ago. What I think about gold. It's a great dust collector, a great paperweight. If you're looking to make weekly cash flow, you ain't going to do it with gold. Terribly sorry. Lately, covered calls just limiting the upside. Matt Daddy, you know what? I'm not looking for upside. I'm looking for safety and consistency and predictability. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to buy a stock and have it shoot to the moon. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. I have other ways of spending my time. Now, when you retire, all your views on it's weird. Okay? Once you get to the point where you wake up in the morning, it's kind of like a Saturday morning every single day. You sleep until you're done. You wake up and you think to yourself, well, what am I going to do today? That's it. What am I going to do today? What are my thoughts on Rio? Well, let's take a look at Rio. So, Dev, as I was saying, and for the rest of you guys, anyone who want to have a chat, a conversation, I love talking to people. And I will promise you one thing. If you leave me your phone number, I will call you. And here's my promise. I will not try to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell stuff. I'm here to document my journey for my children and my grandchildren. You're just here because you're curious what I'm doing and does it make sense and does it work? Whether or not you agree with me is irrelevant to me. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're interacting. And I want to share information. That's why I'm here. But I'm making a documentary series for my children and my grandchildren. I have one grandchild, he's 5 years old. He's fun when he's here. Okay, I had him on the show twice. Full of energy, ball of energy. But he still doesn't grasp the concepts of everything. So that's why this video channel is here. So eventually, when I am gone, because I'm not delusional thinking I'm going to live forever, when I am gone, hopefully this video series will be there for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. That's why I'm doing this. Okay? I'm a nice guy, but I do have to draw the lines at some point. So let's keep on going. And my unknown wants to take a look at Rio. Rio. R-I-O. Rio. No. Wasn't that quick? No, it was really quick. 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, 15 August. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. You can look at them in whatever way you want. They just don't work. For me, okay? If you like them, more power to you. Uh-oh. Rad Monkey, I almost had respect for you until you just asked me about the Q. Okay, so let's take a look at the Qs for a second, Rad Monkey. I had some respect for you, but you just blew it. Let's go to here. Q. Okay, first thing, Rad Monkey, I'm going to show you on the QQQs. We're going to take a look at historical pricing. Okay, historical prices. Now, if you're not aware, this is the data stream. It's where they keep all the data. The date, the opening price, the high price of the day, the low price of the day, the close of the day, the adjusted close of the day, and the volume. Everything you need to know about the stock is right here. Historical performance. Well, let's check out how often has QQQ increased its dividends to its shareholders. Let's find out. Okay, let's slide back up here. Okay, I'm going to click on this right here. It says historical prices. I'm going to click there and dividends only. Okay, now I'm going to come over to here where the date is, and I'm going to look for the maximum amount. And look at this. It has dividends all the way back to 1999. That's awesome. Well, let's check it out. Is it really awesome? Well, let's go back just 20 years. because that's what I'm looking for. Uh-oh, just froze. Damn it. Don't you hate that? You're on a roll. Everything's moving nicely. And I'm on, there we go, 2005, right there. Okay? Okay, Matt Rad Monkey, you ready? Here are all the dividends that QQQ paid out since June 17th, 2005. So let's read them and see what they look like. Uh-oh, Matt Daddy, growth and diversification in the Qs. All right, Matt Daddy, hang on, because you can take a look at the Qs just like Rad Monkey. You ready? Here are the dividends for QQQ in 2005, which is 20 years ago. 3, 10, 2. Okay, explain to me. Explain to me, if you will, if the very first dividend is 3, okay, the second dividend is 10, why is the third dividend 2? Isn't that going backwards? From 3 to 10 is going up. We know that much. But from 10 to 2, that's going backwards. Why do you think that's good? I don't think it's good. Okay. 3, 10, 2, 2, 2, 5, 2, 3, 2, 5. 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 4, 4. 7, 5, 8, 8, 11, 10, 7. Do you see the pattern here? Do you see it increasing every single year? No, neither do I. Consistency of profitability should be higher and higher and higher and higher and higher as the years progress. Not going up, okay? 4 to 7, then from 7 to 5, then 5 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 10, 10 to 7. That's not increasing. That's not increased profitability. That's a hell no. Okay, hold on. It actually gets worse. Hold on a second. Next, we're going to go take a look at the summary for the Qs. Okay, we're going to click on the summary. Give it a minute, give it a couple of seconds to populate or to whatever the hell it does. Come on, here it is right there, okay? Invesco QQQ Trust, $515 per share. Now, I'm assuming, this is probably my mistake, by assuming you guys have some kind of clue about rates of return, okay? A rate of return is when you make an investment. You get that investment back plus a little bit of interest. They also call that the yield, all right? So the yield for the Qs, are you ready for this? Right here, do you see that? 0.63. That's not even a full 1%. That's less than 1%. Not for the week, not for a month, the year. 0.6%. How can you possibly say 0.63 is a good investment? Seriously, it's a serious question. Okay? Rad Monkey, Matt Daddy, come on. How can you possibly say the Qs is a good investment? 0.63. Look at the rate of return. Year to date, daily total return, negative 4.41. Negative 4.41 for the year so far. How can you possibly tell me, oh, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to something else. That's just crazy. Way too focused on dividends. No, I'm not focused on dividends. Okay, I'm focused on the companies that consistently increase their dividends, because a dividend is a portion of the company's profits. Now, a portion of the profits is given back to the investors. Okay, great. If the dividend consistently increases, that means their profits increase. Now, a dividend is also an event that happens every 90 days, which can be timed. And come on. Come on. There we go. And based on a calendar, tells me exactly when a company is going to pay its dividend. Based on that information alone, well, I know a few things. Number one, I know that the company is profitable consistently because it increases its dividends to its shareholders. You can't increase your dividend to your shareholders unless you're profitable. Okay, and if this year is higher than last year, well, that means this year you made more money. It's actually that simple. Okay, simplicity. I like things simple. I don't know why you guys want to complicate things. Now, by looking at the calendar, I know that each one of these little green dots represents a company that's consistently profitable. I also know that just before the EX date, before they pay the dividend, the stock has a tendency to increase in value. So I know two things. I know the company's profitable for more than 2 decades. That's good. I also know that it's getting ready to increase in value. And when it's getting ready to increase in value, okay, I take a look at the chart. Is the buying and selling going to be what I'm looking for? It's a yes/no question. If it's in an uptrend, great, I'll jump in. If it's in a downtrend, well, see you next 90 days. Because each one of these companies pays a dividend every 90 days. I can set my calendar by it. That's why my very first book was called How to Get a Check Every, How to Receive 10 to 20 checks per month like clockwork. That was my very first book. Basically using the dividend capture strategy because stocks have a tendency to increase in value just before they pay the dividend. That's why I concentrate on dividend stocks. And that's why I concentrate on consistency of profitability and preservation of capital. Okay, when you retire, your whole outlook on everything changes. Because while you're working, you have a tendency to keep your mind on work stuff. But when you're not working, you have a tendency to think to yourself, wait a second, I'm this old, I only have this many Christmases left. I only have this many Thanksgivings left. I only have this many birthdays with my children and my grandchildren left. Your priorities change drastically once you retire. There's a statistic goes, people live on average of 5 to 10 years as soon as they retire, statistically. Okay, so I retired at 59. Let's keep on going. What do we have next? Rio is a no. I'm currently holding Ribbon. Yeah, good luck for that one. I don't do Ribbon, not been around long enough. What program do you use to see history? I use TradeView. Okay, Rad Monkey, I use Yahoo Finance. Diablo, I just started a few weeks ago. I use MACD RSI charts. Any other indicators? Yeah, consistency of profitability and weekly options. I only use 2. That's it. All right. We already did my thoughts on Rio. Nick, open a Roth IRA. Okay, that works. Oh, KG wants to take a look at Proctor and Gamble. Well, let's take a look at Procter and Gamble. It's on my list. The reason why it's on my list is Procter and Gamble has been around for over 100 years. They've also increased their profitability for the past 5 decades. So yeah, it's on my list. Look at this, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement. Up, down, what's going on here? 158, the 157.50s, maybe. Next week, definitely. Well, let's take a closer look. Okay, a year ago, Procter & Gamble is at 166. Okay, the high of the year was the end of November, and that was 180. The bottom of the year was just recently. Okay, high, low. Well, it looks like we had a quadruple bottom here. Look at that right there. So let's zoom into that and see that quadruple bottom. Okay. 156.71, 156.69, 156.58, 156.69. I don't know. What do you think? Is that support right there? That looks like support to me. And she hit it yesterday. Well, if this is support, you don't have to wait for 2 or 3 days to the upside. Okay, support and resistance are very important. You got it 4 times right here. This baby's going to go up because it hasn't gone below this, and it tried it 4 times in a row over the last 3 or 4 months. So it's a great time to jump into Proctor Gamble, in my humble opinion. Okay, 159. Let's go to a covered call. La, 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 la. And let's do next week's 157.50. All right, just do one contract. Okay, at the market, and here it goes. You ready? Here we go. Buy one covered call, Procter & Gamble, 100. That's the weekly. 23 May 25. That's not this Friday. That's next Friday. Okay, so this Friday, it's only 3 days left. You're not going to get a huge amount of money. So if we wait and do next Friday, that's 10 days away. Well, that gives us more money, more opportunity. The 157.50 call option against the Procter & Gamble stock to open. It's 2 trades in 1. We're buying the stock, selling the option. Here's the profit, 149. Here's the investment, 15,000 for 100 shares. Diablo. Matt D just came across what type of trading strategy you into? Swing, day trade, or leaps? Nope. I call it a weekly trading. Red Monkey. Thank you, James. Great information. I'll be subscribing. Well, double jolly good. You should join me in my morning trading group, dude. I can always use someone who is open-minded and interested in making money consistently and safely. Shell, do you monitor your trades? How do you find stocks to trade? Shell, are you ready? Got a pencil and paper ready? Whip out that lipstick, that mascara, write it on the wall if you have to. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, Warren Buffett's list. Those 5 lists right there. You go to Google, Dividend Kings List 2025, and it will give you the lists of all the stocks that are consistently profitable for more than 5 decades. It's free for the asking. You just got to ask for it. Okay, look at Warren Buffett's list. Warren Buffett's stock list 2025. If it's good enough for Warren, it should be good enough for you. Should be. Doesn't mean that it is. It should be. And yes, I monitor my trades every single day. Every morning, 9 o'clock, I do a live trading group. Okay? We look at I look at 3 accounts. I have 7. I only share 3 of them publicly. Okay? You can look at my website. I share 3 accounts publicly, each one of my trades. If you want, copy them. I don't care. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what not to do. You're all adults. You're all capable of making decisions yourself. There's a few questions you need to ask yourself. Question number 1 is the biggie. Does it make sense? Question 2, do I like this company? Well, this is Procter & Gamble. They've been around for over 100 years. Okay? They have consistently increased their profits to their shareholders for more than 5 decades. That's 50 years. Higher and higher and higher and higher profits every single year to their shareholders. Well, that's what I'm looking for. And there's about 300 of them. 300 companies consistently increase their profits every single year for a minimum of 2 decades. Well, that's what those are the only ones that I'm seriously interested in. Every once in a while, we'll slide one in there for the fun of it, break up the monotony. But for the most part, it is a good quality dividend stock that has consistently been in business for at least bare minimum 2 decades. Because you cannot get 2 decades of consistent profitability unless you've been in business for at least 2 decades. So that's why a lot of the companies you ask me about are simple no, because they don't fit the criteria that I'm looking for. Now, I don't ever try to tell someone what to buy, what not to buy. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for education for my children and my grandchildren. Hopefully, someday, It may be a huge waste of my time. I don't know. But at least it is there for them when I am gone. Whether or not they, ooh, check that out. Got that little, oh, it's gone. Anyway, so at least I know I'm trying something to help my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. Stock market's been around for 400 years. It ain't going anywhere. Okay? The world has seen a lot of crap. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, all that crap in the Middle East, whatever the hell is going on over there, all that crap. The Great Depression, the oil embargo of the 70s, the stock market crash of 29, 87, 2000, 2008, 2021, all this crap we've seen over the last 100 years. And yet, these companies are still here, still employing your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, kids you went to school with. Okay, we work in the U.S. economy. This is investing in the U.S. economy, in your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. Never mind. Let's look at something else. Ooh, we got to figure out Procter Gamble. What percentage is that? Calculator up here. There we go, right there. All right, so maximum profit on this particular trade, $149. Now, remember when I said I want simple? Well, a covered call is one of the easiest trading strategies. One of them. Safe? Well, I'm buying companies that are over 100 years old. I don't think they're going anywhere. I personally, now legally, okay, if I was an advisor, legally I'd have to tell you, you can lose your money. Well, think of it this way. Can you imagine a world where there's no more Coca-Cola? I can't. Think about it. No more toothpaste, no more toothbrushes, no more shampoo, no more conditioner, no more soap, no more cars, no more windshield wipers. Can you imagine a world without all that stuff? Probably not. Okay, Coca-Cola's been around for over 100 years. They're not going anywhere. It's pretty much guaranteed that in 5 years, Coca-Cola is going to be making Coca-Cola. It's pretty much guaranteed. Unless, of course, because it will happen, it could happen. If you believe the Warren report and that bullshit that a bullet can stop in midair and wait a couple of seconds, if you believe that magic bullet bullshit, then you believe that Coca-Cola can disappear overnight. That Ford could disappear overnight. Home Depot, all those thousands of stores in every single metropolitan area can disappear overnight. If you believe that shit. Okay, stock market's been around. It ain't going anywhere. Who do we have? Ooh, Caricom. Okay, good evening. How are you? Wow, thank you. All right, Shell, glad you like it. Can you suggest some good Canadian stocks to write covered calls on? Ah, Harry, I'd love to help you, dude. I don't know anything about the Canadian market. Nothing at all. Terribly sorry. Do I do the wheel strategy too? Yes, I do, but I don't teach it here. Okay? Simply put, I have a lot of crap up here. I do. And I want to pass it along to my kids and my grandkids. But I have to draw the line somewhere. I can't sit here and teach you everything I know. And I'm not going to. So don't ask. You get one trading strategy. It can get you 50% per year if you do it right. It's not that difficult. We actually go over a few samples every single night to show you how it works. And you can ask any question you want, and I will answer it to a certain degree, of course. Some questions some of you people ask are totally ridiculous. Okay, so let's take out the rate of return for this particular trade. We're talking about Procter Gamble. Company's been around for over 100 years. Maximum profit, $149.50. So let's put it into the calculator. $149.50, and we're going to divide it by our investment. Any way to figure out what your rate of return is, you take the profit, $149.50, and you divide it by the investment. Well, this one is $15,601. $15,601, and that comes to a grand total of 0.9. Oh, bum, that's less than 1%. No. What financial website is good? Because Guru Finance is okay, but there are other platforms as well. Bill, I like Yahoo Finance. Now, I jumped online one time, and I looked at Google Finance, I looked at Yahoo Finance. I just like the ease and how simple it was to use Yahoo Finance. And I've been using them for over 20 years. Alex, do you roll options if at the end of the week it's coming to assignment under your cost? Absolutely. Alex, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Okay, his question was, do I roll my options at the end of the week? What I do at the end of the week, I take a look at what did I buy the stock at? What strike price did I sell the option at? What's the value of the stock right now? What's the value of the option right now? Am I at risk of losing? Am I at risk of being called away? Does it make sense to roll it into next week? Does it make sense to just let it go? Lots of different questions have to be answered only on a Friday afternoon. I'll give you a quote by John F. Kennedy. We cannot answer the questions of tomorrow with the information we have today. So I cannot tell you what I'm going to do on Friday afternoon with the information I have Tuesday night. Same thing. I take a look Monday. I buy Monday. I look Tuesday. I look Wednesday. I look Thursday. Friday is decision day. What am I going to do? Usually by Thursday, I have a good idea what I'm going to do on Friday. Usually, but not always. Okay, so I jump in. So my live trading is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. That's when it starts. When does it get over? When you guys stop asking me questions. Okay, because I'll go through all the trades. I'll go through 3 different accounts that I share publicly. I show you exactly what I'm buying, show you exactly what it is. What am I going to do? I share that exactly with you guys. And then when I am done, I will take a look at whatever you want me to look at. I'll take a look at your account and say, hey, what are you doing here? Why'd you do that? What if you did this? I can't tell you what to do, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I can give you an idea what I would do in that scenario. And then I would ask you, does that make sense? What do you want to do? Then, open question. When you guys are done with the question, fine, we're done and over with. Sometimes it's an hour. The longest one I did, I think, was 3 hours. 3 hours, you guys asking a question over and over and over again. I agree with Alex. All right, Bill. Lord Detroit. UPS EX dividend date is May 19th. Would you purchase to collect the dividend? Well, let's take a look at it. Will you still be using Warren Buffett's list now that he is stepping down early next year? Probably. Because I'm kind of hoping that the new guy that's taking over, hoping he learns something from a Warren. We'll take a look at it. And we'll follow him for a little while. If he's as consistent as Warren was, then yeah, we'll continue to use it. Okay, so Lord Detroit wants to take a look at let's get rid of all this stuff. Let's get back to where we were, the way we were. Okay, anyway. Lord Detroit wants to take a look at UPS, the ups dudes. UPS. Ooh, interesting. All right, let's take a gander. Okay. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, sideways, we're at 100. 99.89. All right, it's close enough to 100. So the 100 is going for 127 for next week. That's 1.25%. Okay, well, let's take a look at it. A year ago was the high of the year, 153. Okay, the last 90 days. Okay, high, low is, look at this, up, down, sideways, and then up. So we're at 100. 100. Does it make sense? The last 30. Here's the last 30. That's a little tough. I was looking at your Mara trade. That's why I asked the question. What's a decent amount to start investing? Oh, Phil Collins, crack cocaine. Good. Do you roll up? Yep, got that one. Oh, who do we have here? Trent, good evening. Above All Chaos. Interesting name. Benzino COVID. I have no idea what that means, but alrighty then. Leader Landscape bought first call option on FNGR for 4 on Friday, and 2 more days. The stock is now over 5, and it's worth $1,000 now. Would you roll it or part of it? Number one, I wouldn't have done that company. That's number one. Okay. Number two, it ain't a profit until you take it. What do you think of AMD? Advanced Micro Devices? They've had some issues with their bookkeeping. Is it GPO on the chart list on the TV screen? No, it's UPS. You got to get your glasses fixed there, Bill. Alrighty. All right, so where are we? Also, what was that other question? Leader, yeah, I don't buy options. I sell them. Okay, 80% of all options expire worthless. So I don't buy options anymore. I sell them. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Thank you, Anik. Live restricted from some audiences. Okay. I'm not quite sure why it's restricted for some audiences. TikTok should allow content like mine. The notice is unclear. Okay. Interesting. I don't know why they're restricting comments on my... Oh, General Mills. Okay, Karakoram, is that right? General Mills is a monthly optionable stock. I don't do monthlies because the numbers just don't work right. Sorry, don't get me wrong. General Mills is a great company. They've been around for a while. They've proven their weight. Okay, if you like monthly options, great. I don't do monthly options. Okay, and General Mills doesn't have weeklies. Could you look at FDX, FedEx? Okay, hold on a second. We're still looking at UPS. So UPS, here's the bottom here at 93. Jumps up to 103. Okay, that is a $10 move. Now, a $10 move on a $93 stock is over 10%. So you need to ask yourself a question. If you buy something and it jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it jumps 10% in 5 days, do you take that profit or do you hold on to it? Me, I'd take profits after 2 or 3%. Okay, I'm not greedy. I want to get in, I want to get out, I want my profits and move on with my life. There are other things I'd rather be doing than sitting in front of a computer. Yes, I could make more money if I sat in front of my computer all day. But that's not what I want to do. I want to make my 1% and move on with my life. That's my little niche, whatever you want to call that damn thing. Yes, Bill, I remember Joe. He's a nice guy from what I understand. Don't know him personally, but we've chatted once or twice. Okay, CM. What the heck is CM? CM. Doesn't ring a bell. And that's why. Because I don't do monthlies. Okay, see, look at this big jump. From 54 to 64, that's over 20%. Why are you holding on after a 20% move? Ugh. All right. Anyway, what platform do you use to trade? Rad Monkey, this is Think or Swim. It's available through Charles Schwab. And Dialos, I think that's how you pronounce it, wants to take a look at FedEx, FDX. That's going to be a no also. Okay, look at this, 195, 240. That's $45. $45 on a 190, that's right around 20%. No, thank you. Okay, it's a lot, it's really not that difficult, okay? You count from where the bottom is to where it is now. How many dollars is that? It's $45, okay? $45 on a $195 stock. That's over 20%. Why would you want to hold on? If it went up and you still have it, it's not a profit until you take it. Well, that's pretty simple, right? Huh. All right, anyway, let's keep on keeping on. Let's keep the ball rolling. What are we looking at next? Next, he has a monthly, yep, nope. Black Box Coach, good evening, and how are you today? Tim Beck, only when it's a covered call. All right, Tim Beck, I forget that question. KGC is a Canadian gym and upgrade weeklies. KGC, never heard of it. Okay. Lady Foss, good evening. How are you today? All right, Economic End Times, University of New Hampshire, huh? UNH? UNH, University of New Hampshire. I'm going to say wait until you find the bottom. Look at that big drop. From 600, now it's down to 300. That's a 50% drop. Okay? Wait. Wait till you find the bottom. Because it don't look like it's done yet. Oh, AMCR. Malachi. One of the Malachi brothers, huh? I wonder if you remember who the Malachi brothers, the Malachi Crunch. All right, anyway. AMCR. What the heck is AMCR? AMCR. Amcor. All right, that's a definite no. 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, 19 September. No, thank you. Uh-oh, CalStar wants to take a look at T. Rowe Price. Harry, my website name, The10MinuteTrader. You're right here on TikTok. Up over here on the left, top left, yeah, DM. Okay, right there, it gets the link right to the website. Okay, CalStar wants to take a look at T. Rowe Price. T. Rowe Price. T. Rowe Price is a no, because I don't do monthlies. La, 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 la. 16 May, 20 June, 18 July, 15 August. Month. No, no, no. Look at Delta Airlines. Oh, Mr. Bill. Delta Airlines. Okay, now I do have Delta Airlines. However, I got rid of my Delta Airlines because I got Delta Airlines down here. Okay, it jumped up, and last week it didn't make sense to keep it because as you rolled it forward, I wasn't getting quite the full 1%. So I let it go, took the profit, moved on. Thank you. Now I'm trying to buy something else. Sorry. Bill, stop asking me math questions. Do your own homework yourself. Ben, BB, Ben, what the heck is BB? BlackBerry. Okay, so BlackBerry's at 392. What do you think? 278 to $4, and you want to keep it? Look at that profit. Okay? If you have it and it went up like that and you're not selling it, that's your own fault. Aaron Wood, MRK. What about XRP? XRP is not a dividend stock. Okay, MRK. Merck. I like Merck. It's on my list. Ooh, look at that. High low is look at the motion. Down. That's it. Down. Well, let's take a close look at it. 76.63. The 77s are going for $2. That's over 2.5%. Well, that's not bad. Very close to 3%, but it is 2.5%. So let's take a look. A year ago, we're at 129. The high of the year was the end of May. No, sorry, the end of June last year, 135. From there, look at your last 90 days. Okay, so the last 90 days is the last 3 months. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down, right here. The bottom is there. Now she's going back up. But look at the support you have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times it wouldn't drop below 76. Great time to buy because it's not going below 76. So last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. Here's the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Shot up, pulled back. Now the bottom is here. We saw it 6 times it hit 76. Well, that's pretty much telling you it's not going below 76. So yeah, let's take a look. 76.63. Let's do the 77s on mark. I don't have to wait for it. Bill, I told you to stop that. So I'm not dealing with it, Bill. All right, there we go. All right. Insatiable monk. Man, maybe thought daughter if I also get the chance. Okay, that's just disturbing. What are the blue indicators? These things down here, that is the volume. That's how many shares are traded that day. Okay, the bigger they are, the more volume. Okay, Merck. So let's take a look at Merck because we got support 6 times at 76. So if we do a covered call at 76, there it is right there, and just one contract at the market, here it is, by one covered call, MRK 100. 23 May 25, that's next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. The $76 call option against the stock at the market to open. So my profit 175, it's cost me 7,400. Let's see what kind of rate of return that is. Calculator, here we go. Clear that. Profit right there, 175. Divide that by 74.25. 74.25. And that gives you a grand total of 2.3%. Well, I like 2.3%. Because 2.3% every single week is over 100% return at the end of the year. Okay, so that's the last of the stocks that I'm going to do tonight. We got like 5 minutes left to go, and I'm just going to do questions. Questions and answers, that's it. What one is that? MRK. 2.3. All right, outstanding. Do I like T. Rowe Price? Yes, I do, but not all the time, but not that it's a monthly. All right, let's keep on moving. Eastwood, good evening. CalStar, thank you for that. T. Rowe downgraded to a hold. Yeah, I don't do monthlies anyway. Thoughts on finger motion? Sorry, Robert, don't do that either. Benji, I day trade futures, but always wanted to try covered calls, but I don't know where to start learning. Benji, I got a question for you. If you're doing futures, have you ever used the Commitment of Traders report? It's available every single week. And if you're doing futures, you should be using it. I'm going to wait for you to answer that one, and I'm going to tell you the good part about it. Rad Monkey, hey James, great content. Really appreciate having a great night. Have to go. Rad Monkey, you have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you again. Diablos, thanks James. I will subscribe to your channel. Thanks. I'm glad I found this channel. Well, bloody jolly good. FDX, Aaron, thank you for that. What type of P&L should be a realistic expectation? Anywhere between 1 to 3% per week. Okay, Benji? Hello, Z. Hello. How many different 1% stocks are manageable in a week? Z, that is going to be 100% dependent upon you. Okay, I trade 7 different accounts. I share 3 of them publicly. And if you look at the 3 company, don't get old, it sucks. All right, let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's change this. Let's go back to here. Let's go to here. Let's go to here. That's 2024. All right. So, Z, you ready, Z? Okay. This is 2024, 3 different accounts. These are all the companies I invested in. Okay. Macy's, Mara, Harley-Davidson, Advanced Auto Parts, and Walgreens. Oh, cool. That's that account. This account over here, Home Depot, Halliburton, Advanced Auto Parts, Harley-Davidson, Walgreens, Home Depot. Let's get out of that one. All right, 2025. Oh, this was last week. Okay, so last week we got Delta Airlines, Riot, Advanced Auto Parts, Alcoa, Riley, Macy's, Delta Airlines, Halliburton, Riley, Kohl's, and Foot Locker. That's just one account. So you have to figure out what works for you. Now, like I said, I have 7 different accounts. Some of them have 6. Some of them have 12. Okay, that's a lot for me. But most of them are usually the same stocks over and over again. See, if you look at these 3 different accounts here, look, Harley-Davidson here, Harley-Davidson here. Kohl's here, Kohl's here, Kohl's here. Riley, Riley here, Riley there. Riot, Riot there, Riot there. Macy's, 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 Macy's. Okay, I pick usually the good stocks and usually the same ones over and over and over. If you go all the way back to the beginning of this year, okay, that's week 10, week 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. All right, Kohl's, MPW, CVS, Foot Locker, Halliburton, Riot, Riley, Kohl's, Harley-Davidson, Intel, Altria, MPW, Riley, U.S. Steel. Kohl's, MPW, Riley, U.S. Steel. Foot Locker, Mara, MPW, Riot, CVS, Foot Locker, Halliburton, Riot, U.S. Steel, so on and so forth. You keep looking. You'll see exactly the stocks I'm looking at every single week. I don't really change because they all, if you have a company, okay, Macy's. Macy's is over 100 years old. Gives me anywhere between 1 and 2 to 3% every single week. U.S. Steel gives me anywhere between 2 and 4% every single week. Intel, anywhere between 1 and 3%. Harley-Davidson, anywhere between 0.5% up to 3%. Okay, MPW, probably around 1 or 2% every single week. If it gives me 1 or 2% every single week, why would I get rid of it? And it's usually always the same stocks over and over and over again. Okay, I share all my trades. They're available. FDX appears to have good premiums. Yeah, we already did FDX. Hello, how many different, okay, how many different 1% stocks are manageable? Okay, got that one. Nick, do you pay a lot of short-term capital gains tax? If so, do you calculate that into your return? Okay, Nick, I don't pay taxes. Okay, now I don't say that in a way that's derogatory or anything, but I have my account set up in a manner in which profits from one offset losses of another business entity, or better yet, put it into a family trust, or put it into a corporation and pay corporate taxes. You need to talk to a tax strategist. If you're concerned about taxes, a tax strategist is who you need to talk to. Kyle, MRK options 523 at 76, ask is 270. Where are you coming up with 175? Okay. MRK at 76 is 260. Okay. Where am I coming up with 175? That's a good question. Oh, right there. This week. Okay. Mark, MRK, 76, 176. All right, it's 176, 175, same thing. Kyle, haven't read the report you mentioned. Look it up, Benji, seriously. Commitment of traders report when it comes to commodities. It is required by law for the big boys to make a trader's report. It's like, all right, I'm buying X amount of contracts. I'm buying X amount of contracts. So if you take a look at oil or light crude, and you have 7,500 options on this side, and you have 150 options on this side, well, you know there's a lot more buyers over here. So the commitment of traders reports tells you who is buying what. And then your job is to take a look at the percentages. Well, if it's a 50-50 split, it's like, you take a look at the numbers. There's 500,000 here and 500,000 there. That's a 50-50 split. But if you have 700,000 there and only 100,000 there, that's a 70, that's a 700 to a 100 or 7 to 1. Put your money over there. Okay? But looking at the commitment of traders report, you find out the very bottom what people are committing to buying and what people are committing to selling. That gives you a little edge over everyone else. Now, I'm surprised that most future traders that I talk to never heard of the commitment of traders report. Anyway. Oh, so while my noise is to the screen in the intraday trade, I was looking to side income covered calls. Awesome. I used to do covered calls with futures. Is it Macy's closing? No. Okay, Macy's has hundreds of stores. Now they are closing, Shell, they are closing a whole bunch of stores because the last administration wouldn't prosecute theft. So Macy's is one of the companies that had a big issue with theft. So they closed a bunch of stores. And they had 4 buyout offers last year. They said no to all 4 of them. My goal is to get a feel for covered call positions and take the fire and forget approach with TPSL. Okay, I got most of that, but TPSL, I don't quite understand that one. Now, Kyle, you said maybe you heard wrong. Kyle, I'm going to have to go backtrack and find out what you're saying. Okay, maybe you did hear wrong. I don't know. Stephen, are you putting strike prices at the nearest price to get called away? Absolutely. That's a great question, Stephen. I get that question about once a week. But it's interesting that you actually paid attention to that one. Benji, thank you, man. This was very informative. But Benji, seriously, check out that commitment of traders report and how to read it. Actually, look on YouTube. How to read a commitment traders report and where to get the commitment of traders report. They'll tell you exactly how to get it. All right, so it's past 11:30. I've answered all the questions. I am done for tonight. Catch you later. Ish me more. Dude, you're late. I'm just getting out of here. Have a great night. So you guys over here on the Zoom call, nice to see you guys. I'll talk to you later. Okay? Peace out, everyone. Have a great night. And end the meeting. There we go. All right, so you guys here on this YouTube channel, see you later. And you guys over here on Instagram, see you later. And you guys over here on this TikTok channel, see you later. And you guys over here on this YouTube channel, I'll see you later. And